So we're here back at it again. All that good shit. So we're going to be taught about the nose ring theory, and I know I needed to take a look at this simply because I also have a nose ring. So hopefully this only goes for women and not also men. Because goddamn, I feel I don't know everything he's gonna say, but I do feel like it's important that we get a better understanding of this, I suppose.
Guys, I've got a fun one for you today that I think you're going to find interesting. Nose ring theory.
First, you're probably going to get so much hate.
Say that half of you are going to be confused, and the other half of you somehow know exactly what I'm talking about, even if you've never heard of it before. I will explain everything I've learned about this theory, show you some examples, and then give you my 2 cents on this whole thing. So, to take you on the journey that I went down.
Just for people that don't know, I'm gonna give you a brief TLDR. Bitches with nose rings, specifically septum rings, are fucking terrible, and that's just how it is. I don't make the rules. It just I don't know why. I don't know how. I just ended up being like that. But it, remember how when you noticed every girl seemed to have fucking blue hair, and then everyone kind of started to figure out bitches with blue hair are just fucking terrible. Yeah, it's kind of like that now too.
Down to get here, I'll show you the video that I first saw that introduced me to this whole thing.
So I'm 24 years old, and I have been trying my hand at...
See what I'm saying? It's the nose ring. You see it, and already you're just like, you know what I mean? Which is like, oh damn, I got a nose ring. I got the exact same nose ring. I also have other piercings and shit too. And it's like, bro, are people just gonna lump me into this? Because if so, that fucking sucks. I don't want to get rid of them because I paid money to get holes in my face, and I really don't want to just have to take them out.
Dating men specifically for probably about 5-6 years now in a serious way.
Yeah, those are rookie numbers.
I'm single at the moment. My boyfriend and I just broke up recently, and I have probably dated about 4 to 5 men, seriously. Keep running into the same issues every single time I date a man, and I've been trying to really get to the root of what it is. And now I know what you're thinking. You probably have a type. I do not have a type. These men don't know each other. They're not friends. They're not from the same area. They don't look alike. I really do not have a type. The only thing that these...
Look, I don't know this girl, but I have to say, if you're dating people seriously and for some reason the exact same thing keeps happening, it might be you. Might. We don't know here, but let's see if she flies off the deep end.
Men have in common is that they are men. I really have been reflecting a lot and trying to figure out what the root of all these issues is. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, but I'm not the reason that any of these relationships ended.
See, interestingly enough, you were self-aware at first. I was going to give you points for that, and then you immediately follow that up with some narcissistic shit. It's I'm not the reason. Well, you don't know that. That's the thing. You don't know that. If the same thing happened with all these different people, and they're all different variables, right? If all these different variables are the same, or they're different, if all these variables are different, and all of a sudden, for some reason, you're still getting the same result, the only other common denominator is you. But again, I digress.
One of the main issues that I've come to recognize is that I don't think men are really socialized to know what it means to truly love someone, love their partner and care for their partner. Obviously, I'm not saying this is all men, but I think it's just not normalized for them to
As a man, I can tell you right now, you're wrong. Yeah, I had a feeling. It was you. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is exactly what's happening. You are expecting love in a certain way. You are not getting that, so you attribute that to them. So you've made this entire homage, or whatever you would want to call it, to him, thinking that that's what he is, and that's who he is, and that's what he'll be. And then when he doesn't live up to your expectations that you set for him that he doesn't know about, you think that there's a problem and you leave. That's a very common thing.
I don't know, just I guess I don't know how to phrase it. What I'm saying, for example, is that every single one of these men individually has looked me in my eyes and told me that I am the love of their life, I'm the most important person in their life, that they would take a bullet for me, and every single one of them has treated me horribly, okay? I don't know about you, but when I tell somebody they're the love of my life and that they're the person I care about the most, I show it. I'm treating them accordingly. Part of it that really trips me up is that they believe it. They actually believe in their heart that I'm the love of their life and I'm the person they care about the most. I start calling it out. I would be like, you do not love me and you do not care about me. Point blank.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I from what I'm hearing, I am correct. You want to be loved in a certain way. I feel like you didn't tell them. They're loving you in their way that they know how to and that they think shows love. And you don't like it because it's not the way you had it. Also, problem for them, they didn't ask you how you want to be loved. So it's kind of like a both issue here, but whatever.
Period. Otherwise, you wouldn't be treating me badly. And they will argue, and they get genuinely like offended. They get offended. I honestly pity them because I don't think they're socialized to know what that means, and like I don't know how to get it across in a meaningful way to them. Like they just don't listen. And I'll be like, okay, you wouldn't have done this bad thing to me if you actually loved me in the way that you say you do. Like that is not what love is. That's not what love is. When you love someone, you don't do things to intentionally or even unintentionally hurt them. Why is that considered love to you? I'm just like, I don't know where it's coming from. I honestly pity them because that has to be awful, but like I can't handle it anymore, dude.
So in this video, this girl is describing her troubles with finding a good man. She insists that she doesn't have a type, that none of these men really have anything in common, but for some reason in the end, they always end up treating her horribly. And this led many in the comments to speculate that it must be something about her that is the common denominator.
Damn, that's crazy. As someone who's fucking retarded, I can't believe I came to that conclusion as well.
And unfortunately, since it's such a short TikTok video and we don't really get much insight onto greater parts of her personality, and she's not very open about what her most major flaws are to figure out why she's attracting such mean men or why her relationships are always driven to turmoil, people began to theorize, because it's one of the most noticeable things about her, that it could potentially have to do with the amount of piercings she has. In fact, these two comments right next to each other say, the piercing theory is so true, with over 700 likes. And again, don't know, don't care, nose ring theory with over 1,200 likes. So you might be wondering, like I did, what about having a bunch of metal in your face would cause someone to treat you poorly? I mean, sure, the style isn't everyone's type, but these men were clearly attracted enough to her to date her, so then what is it that's causing the relationships to not go well? So I decided to look into what these men were referencing when they talked about the piercing theory or the nose ring theory. And this was the top video I found.
Have y'all ever heard of the septum piercing theory?
Yup.
If you have a septum piercing, you may not want to look it up, but I'm always the last person to hear about shit.
I'm gonna have to do another video on just the septum ring theory. Because I don't know if it's just for dudes or for girls. But we'll figure it out.
So, this is common knowledge. It's dead ass. It's actually dead ass. Because it says that every person that has a septum piercing makes their trauma their entire personality.
You know what I'm kind of mad at, though? I've noticed that in other people. Like I've noticed that in other people. As someone who has piercings themselves, that's why I'm obligated and can talk about this. I've noticed that in other people. Me, on the other hand, I make jokes about it as to break the ice, but it's not my personality. And trust me, you would never know unless I told you. But now that there's this nose ring theory, I mean, I guess you could just see it, but like I get it myself, but also at the same time, it's not true because I'm living proof of that. But also at the same time, it is kind of fucking annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And she agrees? It's dead ass.
Like I said, dead ass.
Damn, straight from the horse's mouth. Or maybe
No, incorrect. This horse has something. Well, I can only play devil's advocate because I've also noticed it my damn self, but also I know for a fact that that's not true because I know other people that aren't like this. It's just the people that don't shut up. They want to be different. They're all like, "Ooh, I'm so quirky and I'm so different." And they do all this shit. They won't shut up, and that's all you see. It's annoying. I don't like that either.
maybe I should say straight from the bull's mouth, you know, because you get it. And if even the person with the nose ring is saying it's true, I mean, there's got to be something there. And this is just even more hilarious when we take that theory and then reference back to the first video where the girl was making her relationship trauma her entire personality. Okay, that might have been a little reductive. After all, it was just one video. Surely her entire profile isn't like that.
God
Yo,
damn
you
it.
guys never told me how cool it is to have a dad. Like, this is a secret that's been kept from me, okay? I grew up with 3 moms. My mommy issues are off the charts.
Okay, sure. I mean, so maybe she doesn't have a dad and has a ton of self-proclaimed mommy issues, but that doesn't mean trauma's her entire personality.
I have psoriasis. Not like a little psoriasis, like all over my entire body. When I tell you, my whole body looks like this.
Okay, so she has a bit of medical trauma too, but I mean, there's more to her.
Nothing normal can ever happen to me. I think I attract chaos.
Okay, so attracting
Jesus.
chaos, it might be a little red flag, but I mean, there's gotta be something normal here.
Not to be a man hater or anything.
Bro. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. About to say, you started sounds like that, you're about to hear the most aggressively retarded shit in human history. God damn it. And I guarantee you she's probably not going to say anything for the rest of that. And that's just, even in and of itself, it's just like, oh, that's so retarded. It hurts me.
Actually, no, fully to be a man hater. Fully to be a man hater.
Oh, okay, I guess she also just doesn't like men. I mean, you could have brought that up when you were theorizing on why your relationships with men might be going poorly.
Crazy.
I'm starting to connect the dots. Now, when I first started looking into nose ring theory, I didn't think that I would take it seriously at all. I thought it would just be a good laugh. But the more I looked into it, the more I think that it might actually hold some weight, because I did find quite a number of studies that have strong correlations between individuals with a lot of piercings and tattoos and how they are perceived and who they attract. This study seems to indicate
Okay, well, that's not me because I don't attract shit. But okay, fair enough.
that people with piercings and tattoos scored significantly higher than those without for sensation-seeking and risk-taking behaviors. This other study that I found seems to indicate that people with piercings and tattoos, specifically women, scored significantly higher for extroversion and assertiveness, meaning they are more aggressive socially. This study...
You hear that, man? It's like, you hear that, man? The goth mommy with tattoos, she'll dominate you. The goth mommy without tattoos will not. I'm glad we got this information.
That I found in Psychology Today examines how people with tattoos and piercings are perceived. And the most popular finding was that they are perceived to be more sexually promiscuous and that they tend to attract people who are looking for more casual relationships than serious ones. And many other studies...
Wow, I really set myself up for failure here, apparently. That fucking sucks. I just wanted piercings since I thought they looked cool. Like, that was it. Fuck, you mean to tell me I'm gonna be alone forever because I have piercings in my fucking face? Shit.
They seem to point to people with piercings and tattoos having higher correlations with impulsivity and more experience with trauma and adversity. This study from BMC Psychology seemed to find a strong correlation between body modifications and people who experienced childhood abuse and neglect. And this one really stood out to me. This one found a notable prevalence of individuals with a high number of body modifications and borderline personality disorder. Now,
okay, I'm not gonna get into it. That's just a bunch of family lore, but okay, fair enough, I guess.
this is not to say that individuals with piercings and tattoos are all degenerate problem children
That's what it sounds like, goddamn.
undeserving of love. I myself have a belly button piercing and an entire side piece, and I find myself to be pretty well adjusted and have had a lot of success in my relationships. But it does beg the question, could there be any legitimacy to the nose ring theory, or is it mostly just something that jerks shout at people they disagree with online when they happen to have a nose ring? My ultimate conclusion? Probably both. Obviously, even with all of these studies and research papers, you're never going to be able to make a correct, sweeping blanket generalization about every one kind of person who looks a certain way. In the case of the first video we watched, where the girl is describing her issues with relationships with men, we know that people did at least initially find her very attractive, as she even cites at the end of the video that I cut off that both men and women have described completely falling in love with her. And when I first listened to her story, I wasn't even making any judgments about her physical appearance. I was truly waiting for the other shoe to drop of when she was going to describe some consistent patterns of behavior that might lead to all of this correlation.
It was crazy because I was doing the same thing. I wanted to see what pathology she would display for us. And, well, through talking, I feel like I figured it out. Probably wasn't all that difficult. I mean, especially if you have any life experience or not retarded. It was kind of simple. But other than that, surprise, surprise. Who would have thought? Which is insane because I have some of those too. But I paid money for them, though. That's the thing. I paid money for them. And, like, I feel like that'd be the ultimate waste of money. I mean, granted, you could say getting piercings and tattoos are a waste of money anyway, but still, I paid for it.
In her case, I definitely think that being a vocal man hater was probably the linchpin in the disruption in her relationships
Yup.
with men, but certainly not all women with piercings and tattoos feel that way. In fact, here are some examples of super pierced and tattooed girls in very happy relationships with men. Funny how they always
Amazing.
go for the nerdy gamer guys. But this is what makes the nose ring theory so complex, because if the first video were to be enough to prove that it's accurate, then all of these other videos should be enough to disprove it, right? At the end of the day, the nose ring theory is just that. A theory, an idea worth discussing. Is it true that people with a lot of tattoos and piercings tend to be a bit more rebellious, chaotic, and traumatized?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. But
Yeah,
does it make them
probably.
inherently undateable? No. Some of them are. Some of them are absolutely undateable, but not all of them. As with most things, it's a case-by-case scenario, and it's always more important.
But see, the problem with the case by case part is like people don't have the time or they don't care about going case by case. They just keep seeing these bitches yell on fucking TikTok about how they hate everything, and then everyone's just like, okay, well, I guess all bitches are like that. Because it's like it's just easier to do it that way. Granted, it's not correct; it's not the right thing to do. But like, I think if you're scrolling through TikTok and you see like 3 videos in a row of like essentially the same woman with the same piercing saying the same thing, you're gonna eventually start to think that they all think that way. Unfortunate, but what are you gonna do?
Important to pay attention to how a person behaves or what they believe in than it is to try and find secret clues in how they look or dress. Anyway, that has been my analysis on nose ring theory. If you liked my coverage, please drop a like on the video. Consider subscribing. We are so close to the big 500,000, the big 500,000 subscribers, and drop any comments that you have on the subject down below, because that also helps boost me in the algorithm and grow my channel. And if you want even more from me than you can find here, consider joining my Patreon at patreon.com/thedadvocate for early access to my videos, exclusive content, and exclusive merch that you can't get anywhere else. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the very end. I will catch you in the next one.
Yeah, that's what we're doing, you know. Well, like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit to her. Yeah, but not a surprise that this is being a thing. I wonder what the next weird TikTok shit will come up for everyone to look at. But other than that, y'all be easy.